So hello everyone. So myself Amit from Gurudev Academy, Dharwad. So today we are going to continue the last topic, that is chemical coordination and integration, right? So in a previous video we discussed what are glands, what are endocrine glands and hormones, and the types of endocrine glands, right? So in previous video we discussed the function, location and hormones of pituitary gland, thyroid gland, pancreas, next one parathyroid and thymus. And in this topic we are concentrating on adrenal gland, gonads like a testis and ovary, some non-endocrine glands like gastrointestinal mucus, heart and kidney, right? So here the first one is adrenal gland. So a pair of adrenal glands are located on the kidney, right? So here pair of kidneys are present in a lower abdominal region and the top is covered by some cap-like structure. So these cap-like structures are called adrenal glands. And these adrenal glands internally divided into adrenal medulla and adrenal cortex. So outer part is called adrenal cortex and inner part is called adrenal medulla. So totally internally it is divided into adrenal medulla and adrenal cortex. Right here the first one, adrenal medulla. So this adrenal medulla, it secretes a hormone called adrenaline and noradrenaline. So these two hormones together known as a catecholamines. They are known as a catecholamines. Right, next one. So they are secreted in response to. So here these hormones are known as a emergency hormone or hormones of flight or the fight. Why? Because of their secretion. So they are secreted in response to stress or the emergency situation. That's why they are called emergency hormones, right? And their next one is function. So here these hormones increases pupillary dilation, means enlargement of a dark space of the eye. So when black center of the eye, it becomes larger than the normal. So normal irodukina ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅದರ size increase ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? Why? Because of their secretions, hormone secretions. And it also increases piloerection, means involuntary contraction of the muscles at the base of the hair follicle, and that causes hair to stand up. And it also increases sweating, it also increases heartbeat, and it also increases strength of heart contraction, rate of respiration, right? ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್, ಇನ್ಹಲೇಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಲೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ಸು ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವುದು? ಈ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್, right? Next one, the catecholamines also stimulates the breakdown process. Breakdown of what? Glucose, means glycogen, resulting in an increased concentration of glucose. So glucose ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗುವಂಥ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಈ ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಜನಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಬ್ಲಡ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಪಿಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex, the hyposecretion of adrenal cortex. So it alters our carbohydrate metabolism and causes acute weakness and fatigue. And this condition is known as Addison's disease. So Addison's disease is due to hyposecretion of adrenal cortex, right? So here it secretes many hormones. It secretes many hormones called corticoids. So based on their function, there are three types of corticoids. First one is glucocorticoids, mainly cortisol. The second one, mineralocorticoid, that is aldosterone. And third one, gonadocorticoids, that is sex corticoids. So totally, so cortisol, so cortisols or corticoids. Here glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids and gonadocorticoids. The first one is glucocorticoids. So glucocorticoids function ಏನಪ್ಪ? ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದೇನು ಸಿಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? So this glucocorticoids is secreted by zona fasciculata. So totally adrenal cortex is covered by three layers. So one of the layer is zona fasciculata, and this zona fasciculata, it releases what? Glucocorticoids, right? So and this glucocorticoid, it stimulates gluconeogenesis. ಸೊ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋನಿಯೋಜೆನೆಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ, ನಮ್ಮ NCERT ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸನ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಗ್ಲೂಕೋನಿಯೋಜೆನೆಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಲೌಸ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ? ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸಮ್ ನಾನ್ ಹೆಕ್ಸೋಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಕರ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಗ್ಲಿಸರಾಲ್, ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪೈರುವೇಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನಾನ್ ಹೆಕ್ಸೋಸ್ ಶುಗರಿಂದ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಗ್ಲೂಕೋನಿಯೋಜೆನೆಸಿಸ್, ರೈಟ್? And it also helps in lipolysis, the breakdown of what? Breakdown of triacyl glycerol, and it also helps in proteolysis, means a breakdown of proteins into amino acids. So and it also maintains our cardiovascular system, ನಮ್ಮ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ನ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So it also maintains our kidney functions like blood filtration. So kidney main function ಏನಪ್ಪ? It helps in excretion and osmoregulation. ಈ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವುದು? Cortisol, right? And also it produces what? And it also produces anti-inflammatory reaction and some immune suppressive hormones. ನಮ್ಮ ಇಮ್ಯೂನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಇಮ್ಯೂನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಲ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಂಟಿ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲಾಮೇಟರಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ, ಇಮ್ಯೂನ್ ಸಪ್ರೆಸಿವ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸನ್ನು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ RBC, ನಮ್ಮ ರೆಡ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ನ ಇದು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದು? ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಕಾರ್ಟಿಕಾಯ್ಡ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ mineralocorticoid and gonadocorticoids. So mineralocorticoids, they are secreted by zona glomerulosa. The main mineralocorticoid is aldosterone. So it stimulates reabsorption of sodium and water. So reabsorption of sodium and water, so excretion of potassium. So reabsorption of sodium and water, excretion of potassium and phosphate ions. And thus helps in maintenance of what? Electrolytes. ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಡಿಯಮು ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ನ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನಿಂಗ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್, ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. ಸೊ ಅವರ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್, ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಬೈ mineralocorticoids. So next one, third one, gonadocorticoids. So only in males, so gonadocorticoid, so it is secreted by what? Zona reticularis. So they are also known as the sex corticoids. A small amount of androgenic steroid. So only in males. Males ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಆಂಡ್ರೋಜೆನಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೀರಾಯ್ಡು ಮೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಹೇರ್ಸ್, ಪ್ಯೂಬಿಕ್ ಹೇರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಫೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಹೇರ್ಸ್. ಪ್ಯೂಬರ್ಟಿ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಯಾವುದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಹೇರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ಯೂಬಿಕ್ ಹೇರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಹೇರ್ ಗ್ರೋತನ್ನು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವುದು? ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಕಾಯ್ಡ್ಸ್, ದ ಗೊನಾಡೋಕಾರ್ಟಿಕಾಯ್ಡ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ gonads. So here in case of males, pair of testes are present. So pair of testes, they are present in a bag-like structure. So this bag-like structure is called scrotal sac. And this bag-like structure called scrotal sac, and they are known as the extra abdominal. They are present outside the abdominal cavity. That's why they are called extra abdominal. They are present outside the abdominal cavity. And a pair of testes are present in a scrotal sac. And so testes are considered as the primary sex organ. In males, testes are considered as the primary sex organs, and they act as a temporary endocrine glands, right? So when we observe the structure of testes, so here the testis is made up of testicular lobules, and each testicular lobules, it consists of highly coiled seminiferous tubules, right? So here the section of the testis, right? So these three are known as what? Highly coiled tubular structures called seminiferous tubules, and these seminiferous tubules are present in a stromal tissue. They are present in a stromal tissue, and in this stromal tissue or interstitial tissue, a group of cell is known as the Leydig cells, right? So here the Leydig cells of the interstitial cells, they are present in between seminiferous tubules. They are present in between seminiferous tubules, and they produce a group of hormones called androgen, mainly testosterone. So testosterone is considered as a male hormone and secreted by Leydig cells, and these Leydig cells are present in between seminiferous tubules, right? So next one, the androgen. So ee hormone function enapa, androgen regulates the development of male accessory sex organs like epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate gland and urethra. ಮೇಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಲಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಪಿಡಿಡಾಮಸ್, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಡೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್, ಸೆಮೈನಲ್ ವೆಸಿಕಲ್, ಪ್ರೋಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯುರೆಥ್ರಾ. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಯಾವುದಾಗತ್ತಾ? ಆಂಡ್ರೋಜನ್. ಸೊ ಆಂಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ Leydig cells and it stimulates the muscular growth of axillary and facial hairs, aggressiveness and low pitch of voice. ಮೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮೇನ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಸೊ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಆಂಡ್ರೋಜನ್. ಸೊ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಂಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೋಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟೋಜೆನೆಸಿಸ್, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟೋಜೆನೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟೋಜೆನೆಸಿಸ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಆಂಡ್ರೋಜನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನಿಂಗ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಗೊನಾಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಮೇಲ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, second gonad is ovaries. So pair of ovaries are present in females, right? So in females a pair of ovaries are present and they are intra-abdominal. So intra means what? Within, right? So within the abdominal cavity, they are present inside the abdominal cavity. That's why they are called intra-abdominal. So testes are present outside the abdominal cavity, ovaries are present inside the abdominal cavity, that they are intra-abdominal, right? And these ovaries are considered as primary sex organs which produces one ovum during menstrual cycle. ಮೆನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಲ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿ 28 ಡೇಸಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗತ್ತಾ? ಮೆನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಲ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಮೆನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಲ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಓಮ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಈ ಓಮ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಬೇಕು. ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಓವರೀಸ್, ಸೊ ಓವರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ 2 types of hormones. So they are known as what? They are known as estrogen and progesterone. First one estrogen, second one progesterone. And these 2 hormones are released by what? Ovary. Inside the ovary, so it consists of stromal tissue or ovarian follicle. So ovary is a almond shaped structure and it is divided into outer cortex and inner medulla. So here the follicles are present in a cortex, primary follicle, secondary, tertiary, Graafian follicle, corpus luteum, corpus albicans. So follicular stages are present in cortex, right? And a stromal tissue, right? And it releases 2 hormones. First one estrogen, second one progesterone. So estrogen function ಏನಪ್ಪಾ? So estrogen is secreted follicles. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು follicles ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ, ಈ follicles primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, Graafian follicle. So estrogen is released by follicle and it stimulates the growth of female secondary sex organ, development of ovarian follicle, secondary sexual characters. So growth of mammary gland and development. So it regulates the female sexual behavior. Same way progesterone. So this progesterone is released by corpus luteum. So this, and it supports pregnancy, act on a mammary gland and stimulates the formation of milk and their secretion, formation of alveoli and milk. So it is a second gonad. So ovary is present in females, testes are present in males. And last one, non-endocrine glands like heart, kidney and gastrointestinal tract, right? So here the heart act as a non-endocrine part, right? So here atria of the heart, human heart is made up of what? 4 chambers. So here atria of the heart, it releases a hormone called ANF, atrial natriuretic factor, ANF. It decreases the increased blood pressure, it decreases the blood pressure by causing dilation, dilation ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ? So usually blood vessels ಯಾವುದು? Arteries and veins. Arteries carries oxygenated blood and veins carries deoxygenated blood, right? So here so narrow blood vessels, it increases blood pressure, and wider blood vessels, it decreases blood pressure, and this difference is known as dilation, right? So here the ANF, it decreases blood pressure by causing dilation of the blood vessels, right? And second one, kidney. So kidney, it also acts as a non-endocrine gland, and it produces of peptide hormones. It produces peptide hormones. So in a kidney, juxtamedullary cells are present, and these juxtamedullary cells are JG cells. JG cells produce a peptide hormone which stimulates erythropoiesis. Erythropoiesis means formation of RBC. So RBC formation ಗೆ ಸೊ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಬೇಕು? ಪೆಪ್ಟೈಡ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಬೇಕು. ಈ ಪೆಪ್ಟೈಡ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? JG cells. So heart and kidney, and one more non-endocrine part, that is gastrointestinal tract, and this tract, it secretes of 4 different hormones like a gastrin, secretin, cholecystokinin, and gastric inhibitory peptide. The first one, gastrin, it acts on a gastric gland. And stimulates the secretion of HCl and pepsinogen. So HCl, it neutralizes the microorganism. Pepsinogen, it helps in the digestion of protein. So and these two secreted by gastrin, and this gastrin is present in gastrointestinal tract. The second hormone, secretin. So this secretin, it acts on a exocrine part of the pancreas, right? So pancreas usually act as a heterocrine gland. Right? So secretin, it acts on a exocrine part of the pancreas and stimulates the secretion of water and bicarbonated ions. And third one, CCK. So it acts on both pancreas and gallbladder. So and stimulates the secretion of pancreatic enzymes and bile juice. So pancreatic juice is from pancreas and bile juice is from gallbladder. So here the bile juice is released by liver and it is stored in gallbladder, and this bile juice helps in emulsification of fat, and pancreatic enzyme, it helps in protein digestion. So last one, fourth one, gastric inhibitory peptide. So they are known as a GIP. It inhibits, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಾ? ಇನ್ಹಿಬಿಟರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ಹಿಬಿಟರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಹಿಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಸಿಕ್ರಿಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೊಟಿಲಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಏನು ಓವರ್ ಸಿಕ್ರಿಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರತ್ತಾ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದು? GIP or gastric inhibitory peptide. So and several other non-endocrine tissues secretes hormones called growth factors. Next one, essential for the growth of tissue and repairing or the regeneration process, right? So gastric inhibitory peptide, cholecystokinin, secretin and gastrin, right? So last part is mechanism of hormonal actions. So hormones body ಒಳಗೆ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕಲ್ತ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗತ್ತಾ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಇಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇರುತ್ತಾ? ವೆನ್ ದೇ ರೀಚಸ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟೆಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ ಆರ್ ಸೆಲ್. ಸೊ ಬೈ ಬೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ರಿಸೆಪ್ಟರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬೈಂಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಬೈಂಡ್ ಆದಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಅದರ ಇಫೆಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಒಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ರಿಸೆಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಟೂ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ membrane bound receptors. They are present in the cell membrane, right. So here the plasma membrane, so here receptors are present and they are known as a membrane bound receptors. Second type is intracellular receptors. Intra means what? Within. Cell, cellular, cell receptors, right. So here the receptors are present in the cell, so within the cell they are called intracellular receptors. Means specifically they are present in the nucleus, right. Next one, when the hormone binds to its receptors, it forms a complex and this complex is known as a hormone receptor complex, right. So hormone released by endocrine gland and these receptors are present on the membrane or inside the nucleus. When they binds with the receptors, it forms a complex called hormone receptor complex and it leads to certain biochemical changes in the target tissue, right. So based on their chemical nature there are different types of hormones. They are grouped into different groups, right. The first one is peptide, polypeptide and protein hormones. So for example insulin, glucagon, pituitary and hypothalamic hormones. So individual hormone functions ನಾವು ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ, right. Second group is steroids, so like a cortisol, testosterone, estrogen, next one progesterone, right. So here stero, here estro, stero, next one sol, it represents steroid hormones. Next one is iodothyronins, means thyroid hormone, T3 and T4 hormones, tetraiodothyronin, triiodothyronin, thyrocalcitonin. So these are released by thyroid gland and they are grouped into iodothyronins. And last one is amino acid derivatives like epinephrine and norepinephrine released by adrenal gland, right. And these are some effects or the mechanism involved in hormonal action. So in this chapter we discussed endocrine glands. So endocrine gland, type of endocrine glands, type of non-endocrine glands, their hormones, their location, their functions and their hormonal action, right. For more videos please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.